Okay, people, so it is Sunday, July 19th, 2020. I'm going to put up everything that's been kind of like going on in terms of yard stuff that I've been working on for the last, well, ever, really. Right? Just so I don't get, because about 4 or 5 days ago, I was out in the front working on the pond area. And Andre was putting together those, I don't know, they stack rocks. I don't know exactly what it's called. But anyway, I never uploaded that with my last video, right? Because my last video, people, you know, like, I don't even listen to the premier of this province, per se. And I sure in the hell don't listen to Adrian Dix. And it's really unfortunate because I met the man back in 2013 when he was in opposition to the BC Liberal government, right? I'm going to put this first and then everything else, okay? And, you know, that's when Andre was wrongfully, as lawyers like to call it, I like to call it illegally apprehended, right? So, you know, I have video of us, my girls and myself and a few of their friends going downtown to Adrian Dix's office because they were having some rally. Some people were having some rally out there in terms of raising the welfare rates. I wasn't there per se to raise the welfare rates, although when they had Occupy Wall Street, when was that? In 2012? Because Andre was born in 2000, or was it 2011? I think it was 2011. Because Andre was still a baby, right? And he was born in September of 2010. So anyway, back in with Occupy Wall Street, when we had that, you know, stuff going on downtown, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, I went down there with the girls, and you know, we went up into the Hastings area, and, you know, on our way back, and we stopped and just randomly asked some individuals that were willing to talk to us about their thoughts on the Winter Olympic Games and the, you know, gentrification of the neighborhood centered around that political agenda, right? Which displaced thousands of lives out of their SROs, single occupancy rooms, and, you know, reno evictions, and, you know, people suffered a lot, people, to accommodate Winter Olympic Games, which in the here and now, you know, would be completely infeasible to think that we'll ever have another Winter Olympic Games, right, based on what current day politicians are doing, even though some of these current day politicians were those pillars in the bar, holding up the bar, right? You know, in terms of a nightclub, you know, you go into a nightclub, you always see those same old people. It doesn't matter what day of the week you go, what month of the day, you know, what month of the year you go, they're always there. Well, Adrian Dix is kind of like that way, and now, like, he's a complete liar, people. Anyone that's gonna get up and do a live stream, pre-record a live stream that's going to be posted in a week from now, okay? Like, I don't get it. I am trying to tell people on the internet who can actually make a difference and get that information out there, and they're just sitting quiet on it because they're more involved, you know, with spreading fear porn, people, okay? I know I veered off from Adrian Dix, but, you know, like, I don't even, if I listen to them, people, it's only to document the bullshit that they pre-recorded a week ago and then tried to feed it as facts to me today, after a week has gone by, with fake numbers of deaths and infections and anything else that they're spewing out, right, a week ago, and then sitting on it until the day comes when they restream it. Like, that warrants fucking criminal charges, people. But no citizen is going to go arrest Adrian Dix. Never mind the premier of this province. And the RCMP sure in hell ain't gonna do it because they're too busy running around harvesting organs from all the people that are dropping off like fucking flies with that Drano that's killing everybody en masse. As you've got the BC Coroner Service, Tracy, just another Lucy, right? Oh, well, you know, they did it to themselves. It was a suicide. They were depressed. Oh, sorry. No, it was an accident because the drug supply is real bad and nobody really knows what they get. But don't worry because the government's coming in with a safe drug program. You go out in the streets and you talk to the people. I haven't talked to that many people, because I'm pretty housebound. We know that. But the little time that I had out there, I'm already getting the feel from what I was told, right? I was working in the fucking dust yesterday with the raccoons. I've been working in the dust for the last 2 weeks in terms of mud and grit and pine needles and spider webs and just crud like that. Anyway, you know, they're saying that this safe drug stuff that they're trying to push on the addicts that are basically homeless, right? You know what I'm saying? It's worse than methadone, right? So, you know, you can't win for losing. You rob Peter to pay Paul, right? And for every death that's occurring in this province related to Drano, okay? The new and approved fentanyl, which is dubbed Drano, okay? You know, it's the equivalent of fucking Drano. Poisoning is poisoning, people. This is what I told the cops, right? Just because ShaMay was poisoned with fentanyl and somehow it's okay to kill people with fentanyl, but not with rat poison, not with freaking, antifreeze, you know, not with Drano. You can't kill somebody with Drano, you'll go to jail. You can't kill somebody with cyanide or antifreeze or rat poison because you'll go to jail. But you get a free pass if you kill somebody with fentanyl, right? Well, yeah, because they don't want those bodies to stop coming into the hospitals, dead or alive, right? And 9 times out of 10, 99.99.99.99, they're already dead. Because if they're alive and they want those organs, trust me, they're not coming out of it alive. This is how morbid British Columbia, Canada has become. As our politicians that have been the pillar of British Columbia, Canada, and said, well, just wait until we get into Parliament. We're the opposition right now. But yeah, once we get into Parliament, we're going to promote that universal school meal program, Miss Chorney, because we really think it's a good idea. I can name several politicians, Adrian Dix would be one of them, that agreed that British Columbia, Canada should have a universal school meal program and that they supported the initiatives that I started back in 1999, 2000 with the foundation that I registered. Okay? Now we're in what? 2020? That's all in the dust, people. They don't want that. They're bringing in another Venezuela. Right? Where we're going to end up eating fucking dogs for the ones that are poor. And then there won't be no dogs left. Right? And if it's not going to go in that direction, then there's going to be a lot of slave labor. Okay, so my camera kicked out because I ran out of room, right? You know, I run my equipment on high, right? I've been working on this eye stuff, people. That's what I've been doing, so I've been, like, going a little extra mile, you know, recording certain people, I guess you can say, and then going back and, you've seen, right? Because I want to know the truth, people. That's the thing. I'm working on my own eyes, too, okay? So I'm not picking on anybody in particular, right? Because I'm putting my own eyes out there with my next video as a comparison in terms of what would be considered more normal versus not so normal. And if it's not so normal in terms of the eyes, we need to ask ourselves why. right? And we need to determine how systemic that problem is, especially within our political system and our public union sector, because, you know, technically people, out of 5.2 million people, the provincial government only has something like 20,000, no more than 500,000 workers, okay, within the provincial government in terms of a public union sector, right? Out of 5.2 million people. I mean, obviously that doesn't include the municipalities with their mayors and blah, 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 but they do get that block funding coming in from the province, right? So, you know, there's a lot at stake here, and what's provoking me to do this video is because, you know, I have been doing outreach ever since Andre's been gone. When they took him illegally, wrongfully, however you want to call it, people, right? I've been doing outreach in YouTube land, and like so many people are just so fucking fake. They're just so fake, right? And like, you know, you go through a cycle, right, where, you know, somebody's trending, and all the traffic seems to be going to their channel, and then you end up at their channel, and, you know, and you call out, you reach out, you do whatever, you know, to try and, you know, add to the solution, bring awareness, ask for help, whatever it may be, and they just act like you don't exist, basically, right? If you're not being accused of being a fucking troll, because maybe you're not talking about the subject that they're talking about in the exact context of how they're talking about it, but if you're talking about corruption within, you know, particular individuals that have been in past positions of power within the political government of the United States of America, and how that, or those individuals influenced, you know, society, right, through their corruption, and they're in positions of presidency or whatever, and that same fucking person came over to your fucking province, fucking. I know there's a lot of people out there, oh, I'm not listening to her because she swears too much, there's something wrong with her, she doesn't know how to control her potty mouth. No, it's not about I don't know how to control my potty mouth, people. I'm done. I'm done because society is like so fucking fake, right? So anyway, okay, so, you know, I mentioned how I am in Canada, right? You know, sorry, I was born in Canada, nothing I can do about that. So, you know, and who crosses over in 2001 when Gordon Campbell became fucking premier of this province? Well, gee, it was Bill Clinton. Oh, let's shake hands. Next thing you know, within a year and a half, BC, British Columbia, Canada was flooded with methamphetamine that was attaching itself to 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, right, who happened to be one of mine, Ciera, right, got it through the fucking school pipeline, right, and then, destroyed hundreds of thousands of lives, people, because of that one, let's shake hands. There was no problem until Bill Clinton showed up. And Gordon Campbell became premier of this province. And then all of a sudden, it was like monsters from hell. Right? How do you get a monster at 13 years old or 14 years old by 14, right? I know it took me a while to figure out what the hell was. I didn't even know what methamphetamine was, people. I had to learn the hard way, chasing Ciera down the street after 20 fucking kids all high on meth to try and get my daughter away from that crowd. But as she's running down that road with those 20 kids, they're running into some other woman's house. Houses. More than one. Right? As that mother is, well, this is how you go out in the community and you rob people. And you go and you grab the person, you just take the wallet, take the credit card, and throw everything else away. And bring me what I want. That's what she was getting the kids to do as she was feeding them methamphetamines. And Ciera was 14 years old. I'm banging on the door, people. I'm banging on the door saying, I want my daughter. Give me my daughter. If you don't give me my daughter, I'm calling the cops. Oh, she didn't give me my daughter. I called the cops. And you know what the cops did, people? Oh, well, there's nothing we can do because under the Criminal Code of Canada, which is federal law, it says that she's 14 years old and she can do what she wants. Regardless of whether she's committing crimes, we have to catch her when she's doing it. We can't just assume that she is and go into somebody's private property and take out your daughter who is 14 years old and is old enough to make her own decisions. We're just going to leave her there to do more meth. So, of course, I kind of mentioned this in a roundabout way through the chat. Since this person was talking about corruption and the various levels within the United States government and the people that get elected into power, right? Again, I'm sorry I wasn't born in the United States of America. It wasn't like I could sit up there and fabricate some fucking story. I was telling the truth, and at the end of the day, everything that's happened to my family since the beginning, right, where police have been involved in the beginning with Ciera at 14. No, we're not gonna get her out. No. You're just gonna have to wait for her to come home. Yeah, okay. I fucking hate cops, people. I said that. I hate cops now. Right? And then somebody said, well, don't say that, not all cops bad. Yeah, well, maybe not where you are. Maybe you guys got some good fucking guys out there. But where I fucking live, I'm gonna get it to it, people. And there is not too many good guys out here. Because the government has got them by the balls. Right? And have done something to them. And it's not just money, it's not just paying them off. It's something else and more involved. So anyway, now I'm watching a different YouTuber. That was somebody else, okay? So whatever, you want to suggest I'm a fucking troll, then I won't say fucking shit. First of all, I don't even know what fucking Q is. This person goes on about Q. I don't even know what the fuck Q is. I suppose I could Google it and do my homework. But from what I can gather, it's a lot of, well, what do you think he says? Or what do you think they mean? Or what do you think? What do you think? Well, you know what? I gave you what I fucking thought. And then I get accused of being a fucking troll for telling my story that directly relates to one of your presidents in the United States of America, who in my opinion is completely corrupt and should be in jail himself. It's okay for you to say it because you're fear-mongering, right? This is why I'm kind of mad. It's your channel, you can fearmonger, you can bring in the traffic as long as you say it, but if somebody else says it in their way, how they say it, they become a fucking troll. Right? I mean, I'm already humiliated enough in my life, I don't need to be fucking humiliated like that on YouTube, so fuck that shit. And I'm a little more concrete in terms of, I go with the fucking facts and I try and find those facts, people. I don't sit there and what if we got lizard people on the planet and we just don't fucking realize it? What if they're harvesting us because they're taking our actual bodies and gutting us and moving themselves into the body? I mean, if you think about it, if they can make ShaMay look alive with their embalming fluid on a bloody hospital bed for 9 days, even though her body was decomposing, right? You know what I mean? And then turn the machine to a different switch so that when they wanted her to technically die for the 4th time since being in their care, right? It just changed the solution that went through the body in terms of her face, where it turned gray to convince you visually that she had now suddenly passed away, even though she's already had 4 deaths. If they can do that in a hospital bed, what else can they do, people? Right? And this is so dire, but the thing is, I'm trying to put it out there, but it's very, very hard to convince people that we're not dealing with your average everyday Joe, right? When it comes to these mind hive, beehive politicians that have taken on some people call it a socialist agenda, whatever, have taken on the planet to enslave the majority as they reward the few to be tyrants, okay? You have to weed out the tyrants, people. So that's why I'm working on the eye thing. So, and being that I'm looking at my own eyes, and I'm looking at other people's, like random. I just come to a video, anything particular, and I'll try and throw in a few randoms in there, right? So I have comparisons so that I'm not providing false information or falsely accusing somebody of being a hybrid to a foreign species that didn't even come from this planet, right? I mean, I'm so drawn to this right now, people, that I actually want to draw the actual what I'm seeing as I'm going through the process, because when they had ShaMay on those machines, and I did my videos on her pictures, right, with the exposure under the skin, the way the exposures were coming out, you could see that they had put something else under the skin, because it comes out through the exposure. Now I just have to backtrack, go into those videos, copy and paste, list it down as a, exhibit whatever number, right? And then there's my evidence. And I will do that as I continue to work on what I'm working on, to show you that it's not just a speculation, because I can show you pictures with ShaMay where it pretty much verifies what I'm saying, right? So I think a lot of what we're looking at when I'm doing these videos is, one, they have contacts. That's one thing. Contacts is a big thing, right? In terms of it's very deceiving to hide whatever, people want to hide. Normally it's just the color of the iris. But, when we're dealing with something more sinister, I would suspect, it's a little more deeper than just the iris, right? And then, of course, just the technology, people, the technology, right? So what I'm trying to say is, okay, so that's all speculation. But when it comes to the actual government, people, and I've already proven this, 5 different videos where I have documented the BC Liberal Government of Canada, which is the new Democratic Party in the year 2020, right? They have been pre-recording live streams with a ghostwriter, with fake deaths, right? Fake infections, fake. They sit on that pre-recorded live stream for a fucking week. And then they record it tomorrow, right? What is tomorrow? July 20th, 2020, as a factual date of that live stream being done at that moment in time as the live stream is going out, even though it was done a week ago. You can't predict 1 week in advance how many people are going to die within that 1 week. I've made it as clear as day. I've done 5 different videos documenting what they've been doing. And all these people that I've been calling out to, trying to reach out to, trying to warn, asking for help, whatever it may be, are completely ignoring me, people. And if they're not fucking ignoring me, they're suggesting that maybe I should just shut up about talking about methamphetamine and the corruption that came from one of those fucking dickheads over there that called themselves a president of the United States of America and came out here and poisoned thousands and thousands and thousands of kids, to the point where now today those same kids are being hunted down and harvested for their organs. And that's another thing I can prove, right? I shouldn't have to prove it, though, every video that I do in order to keep people on track. Especially when I come across new information like this bullshit with the government lying. And why larger YouTube channels would want to sit on that information and not make inquiries and say, oh, are you serious? Is that really what is going on? No, I don't believe that. That can't be. Let me find out for myself. Being that I'm an independent news reporter, let me find out for myself. You and I, we need to talk. Show me how you think that this is really happening. versus just ignoring it. Because if you're just ignoring it, then these people are no better than fucking Global News, CTV, CNN, all these other ones that are feeding lies to the public 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever it is, in advance, just so that at the end of the day, we're all going to be treated like fucking slaves unless we've got a certain eye kind. Right? And even then, people, I think it's beyond this. Okay? Because there's something else going on in some of these people's eyes. I just don't know how I'm going to put it together so that you can see it. That's why I'm using my eyes as a comparison. The problem with my eyes, though, is I have a very bad glaucoma. And I am going blind. And I have dark spots right in the back of going blind from the glaucoma. So my pupils aren't necessarily in good health, right? But at the end of the day, my eyes do not show the same kind of, I don't want to say symptoms, but the same kind of issues that some of these politicians' eyes are showing in terms of he has it, he has it, he has it, she has it, he has it, but he put on a fucking something to hide one eye, even though it's coming clear on the other eye, right? You understand what I'm trying to say? That's why I kind of want to draw it, because there's something else going on in there. But that's all speculative, but not when it comes to the BC government fucking doing pre-recorded live streams. Why no fucking YouTube channel that wants to get out there and purport that they're for the people, and they're trying to help the people, and they're trying to make the people awake? Well, if you're trying to make the people awake, why don't you start letting them know what the government really is doing instead of getting out there and just feeding into the fear porn? You know, just feeding into the fear porn for freaking views. I'm not going to even call it clout chasing, because you've already got the fucking clout. You're just leading the people down the garden path as you cherry pick the information that you report on. And when you're done looking at what it is that you're reporting on and what you've been doing, and you ignore the hard cold facts. You ignore those hard cold facts. It just shows me that you're just nothing more than just fear porn yourself. And then, just to follow up on that one, watching, another YouTuber, right? They, they're always interviewing this person, interviewing that person. This person's so important. This person knows so much. This one's a fucking this, that, and everything else under the sun. Okay? So they're going on about, oh, well, those poor Native women and those children, they've been targeted all these years, and, they've had heinous things done to them, and, the RCMP are involved, and it's a big cabal, and, yeah, we've got the mob, blah, 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 and what are you going to do about it? Well, we're going to keep fighting, Okay, so, now they touched on something that's really important to me, because it's been happening to my family. Right? I go as far as file fucking lawsuits to document this shit, people. And what do? They, again, ignore it. And then, when I send one person an email thinking, well, you know so much, you've been involved, you're an old man, you know so much about what's been going on in British Columbia, Canada, because you live here, right? And you've been doing the research, and you know all about, Willie Picton, and you know about that case, and you know about this case, and you talk, you talk, you say you gotta fucking do something, and you're not afraid to fucking do something, but when you're called on it, and I send you an email simply asking you if you can help me, and I forward you a copy, I know he's not listening, because I'm a nobody to this person, right? Because it's too close to fucking home. It's easier to talk about Native girls going missing, babies being chopped up for dinner, right? And all this other shit that Aboriginal people have had to deal with for 100 years. And say, oh yeah, well, it's still going on. We're pretty sure about that. But, we need to do something about it. Well, here's your chance. I fucking documented. I filed it. I just need help keeping it in the court and holding the government to account. And what does this person say? Oh, sorry, I'm not a lawyer. I can't help you. Best regards. And then I'm like, shut the fuck up. You have no authority to talk about fucking shit. If you can't, you want to sit up there and talk about you're going to stick your neck out and you're not afraid, and somebody comes to you with the real bloody deal and you just cut them off at the freaking pass so that you can go on and brag about how you're so smart on this and smart on that, and you know this person and you know that, and you've been there and you've done that, and you're a real fucking old man warrior, when in fact you're just a bag of wind. As YouTube continues to shadow ban my channel. It goes back to that paradigm fucking paradox box, you know, where there's this reality and then there's this reality, right? And a lot of shit that I'm watching on YouTube right now is just a bunch of fucking talk looking for views. It's just the faces have changed, right? I've been on YouTube a long time. Straight Drop 8, you know? People that know his channel, he was pretty popular at one point in the past over Kanika Jenkins and so on and so on and so on. And now the faces are changing, but it's the same old okie dokie, right? You come with them with the real deal of what they're basically talking about, and they shun you away. They ignore you. They push you out of their fucking lives with their, oh, get out, bing. So you have to restart your computer, right? Or whatever it is. Or they send you an email saying, well, no, I'm not a lawyer, can't help, best regards. But yet we'll get up on YouTube tomorrow and talk the same bullshit about how much he knows, how much he's investigated, how much he's documented, who he knows, how important they are, blah, 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 and how he's not afraid to stand up and say something or do something about it, but yet when you call him and ask him to help you, which has already been documented and is legitimate, he puts his tail between his legs and he runs like the little bitch that he is. So, I don't suspect anything to change, people. Now that I got that off my chest, I don't. Because the people that are in that, you know, like I said, Judy, don't get upset. Like, fuck. Right? That's the way YouTube works. YouTube steers you to certain people that mislead you as they try and convince you that they're there for you, fighting for you. Doesn't matter if it's stateside or Canada side. And that's what I'm finding. Because if these very people would have sit up there and start talking about how the government of British Columbia, Canada, the new Democratic Party, was putting out fake pre-recorded live streams with fake deaths that were written in a week ago before they even happened, that would be a game changer. But they're not going to report on that, people, because they just talk, right? They just feeding into that porn, fear porn, right? Oh, I'm going to go on about masks. Mask. No, well, I'd be more concerned about if they're saying a week ago under a fake live stream that 10 people died, and then they sit on that live stream for 7 days, however many days, and then they get up and re-stream it to be official. I want to know who those 10 people were that died. Because when that report was made, they were still alive. And they had a week to kill them. That's what some of these people should be reporting on. But they're not. Any more than they're going to sit up there and talk about what happened to my family. Even though with forked tongue, they're going to talk about what happened to the natives. Right? As if talking about what happened to the native women and their children and their men and all this other stuff is going to make a fucking difference. Because talking about it isn't going to make a difference, people. Right? So I'm really discouraged. That's all I'm saying. I'm so freaking discouraged because it's the old okie dokie. That's like back in the day it was straight drop 8 or whatever the hell his name is. He's changed it 25 times already, right? You know, with YouTube, you know, sending people to, I don't know what they're called, but they're just bullshit. It's just bullshit. That's all it is. Just a bunch of fucking bullshit. Okay, June 12th. I'm pretty sure. It's Saturday. Sunday? I don't know. Anyway, we're working here. What are you doing, Matilda? What are you doing, Matilda? With your little wild cubs. You guys always come out in the front. Huh? But when those babies want to go back home, boy, they run. They're in the hen house. They know where their den is. Yeah. Yeah, you guys do, don't you? You're so cute. Look how cute you are. Just a cutie. She's got 4 of them, I think. I think she's got 4. Andre has a talent for this. Do you see that? He stacked up those rocks. I don't know what these names are called. Uncle Marcane would know what the name is called. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Look at how he did that, people. He did such a good job.
So on that rock, to there, to there, to there, and to there. Then I had some little rocks, so I figured out.
Yeah, you definitely have talent, Andre. I'm like looking on the ground like, what is that? And I'm like, oh. Is it? You got that. Oops.
Oh, okay. There.
Pretty good.
Okay, people, so I'm building another thing. You can see, right? I'm building this. The one like that one. See? But I'm building like another one. This one is gonna be so more different. So I have to dig this rock off and add it with a new rock. So I have to figure out what size the thing needs. Oh, here's a good size. You need a flat rock, then put it on top of the other rock. That's what you need to do to build these, whatever they're called. So, where are these? So, Marky, might know what those things are called?
Yeah.
I wonder what they're called. Rock towers?
No. The natives call them something.
Huh?
The native people call them something. I don't know if I can do this.
No.
Shit's sharp.
So this one is gonna be bigger. Oh my god. That driver got me distracted. Just give me a minute. So just have to build this like how I built the other one. Just need to get the right side and the right size. It's almost done. Almost. I just need a few more rocks and then it's done. Whoa, a couple more. So why did you wonder what this was on the ground? No?
What's that?
I said, why were you wondering what this was on the ground? Did it look interesting?
Yeah. Andre, I'm focusing on something and this wire is sharp.
Oh, okay. Just give me one more minute to put one more rock on. Couple flat ones. I didn't put that on nicely. Okay, so here's the flat ones. Put that like that. And then, almost done. Have to restart because it fell. It's almost done, people. I'm trying to just turn this off now. Okay, people, so do you see? I made a little one and just a big one. So I made that, and that's it.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, Andre.
Yep.
That's pretty balanced. That's all balanced on a rock right there.
Yeah.
That's in the cement.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Oops. Okay, so now it's like July. I'm pretty sure it's the 18th, Saturday, right? And I'm going to try and run. I'm a little leery about it, people, because obviously this gets sun blaring on it all day long. But you've seen me over the years do multiple things to try and keep whatever's underneath in there dry. Anyway, the tarp is kicking around. So I want to use up this vinyl. So I think I'm going to try and run a vinyl across it. Because I'm going to do the vinyl over there and just wherever, right? And I've got a lot of this vinyl, so I don't know. I don't know if it's going to hold up under the sun. I don't know if the vinyl itself will start cracking, but I'm going to give it a shot. So, as you can see, I've washed it. Now, I'm just going to work on this hard stuff. I'm going to work on trying to put in another window, right? You can see I've got the boards ready, right? I'm going to, there's lots of things I need to do. But look at this warrior tree. Look at it. You're getting big. And of course, I've got other trees getting big, right? So hold on. Okay, people, I am trying to have a good attitude about this. Okay, this is still better. I'm telling you, this is still better than nothing but weeds, a river running through a yard, right? Fucking grit, sand, rocks, mud, and raccoon shit. I still get the raccoons because they've always lived in this yard. So lucky for them that I moved in and actually care about them. Alright, so anyway, as you can see, I've gutted it now. I've got like some major repairs I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to rat-proof it again. It used to be rat-proof, people. It used to be rat-proof, right? Because I had Mr. Lace in here. First we made it for Mr. Lace, right? And then my landlord gave me 5 hens. So Mr. Lace, he had his girlfriends, right? And then eventually City came along and said you can't have chickens, so they took all my chickens. Mr. Lace went to a farm, and then the chickens, they went somewhere out to a farm, right? They all went, right? My landlord took them and gave them to somebody else. So anyway, now we can have chickens, so I may or may not have chickens next year. We'll see what happens within, this year in terms of by the time I'm done with the yard. Currently, we've got Matilda with her babies in the hen house area, aka / playroom / seedling room. But Matilda's living in there with her babies, so she's laid claim with that, right? So I'm not too worried about it. But if I really wanted chickens, people, apparently the bylaws allow me to have them now. So if I want them, I could build in, continue building in on the hen house, and then, introduce chickens into it sometime within the year. If I get to that point. I might do that just for the kids, right? And then, of course, I got to think of Matilda, right? Because I'm sure she'll be back next year, right? And, but I'm going to try and focus on something maybe in the back over here, right? Now, chickens and raccoons don't mix, right? Raccoons like to eat chickens. So whatever I do would have to be raccoon-proof. And it would have to be rat-proof. This used to be rat-proof. At one point, one did get in and attack the chickens and actually killed 2 of them, right? And, because what they do is they get them at night, they attach onto the neck, and they kill them. And I guess they suck out the blood. I guess that's what the rats do. They suck out the blood of the chicken. So, and then, of course, raccoons will come and stalk them if they're running around in the yard, right? They'll try. Mr. Lace got attacked by a raccoon because he was fighting off a raccoon that was trying to come after the chickens, and took him to, okay. So anyway, I'm in here. I'm going to sweep out this crap that's in here. I'm not going to worry about laying down new flooring, rat-proofing it right now. What the goal is to get a window there, and which I think I have one that will fit there. And then I've got one long one that will fit here. And then once those windows are in, people, even though it doesn't get a lot of sun because of the tree and the house over here and whatever, oh boy, it's still going to brighten up really nice. And because it's, being kind of insulated, it will be a nice room either to, start seedlings, because it's close enough to the house that I could run an extension cord and have grow lights in here for seedlings, or a heater for seedlings, right? Or, I have things like, I have kale, right, that are hanging in it, like the seeds, and there's like big bushes full, so I could technically hang them here with a little bag around them, you know, let it breathe, and then they can dry in here versus kicking around in my house, right? So there's lots of little things that could be done in here. And all in all, it's since, what, 2000 and, oh, when did we get Mr. Lace? 2013 or something like that? Oh, we were December of 2012, I don't know. Anyway, I just know that this little thing has been standing here for quite a few years, and it's still pretty sturdy. And once I get these other windows in, it's going to be sturdy. So I'm working basically on windows, and I'm going to try and, you know, start figuring out a way to run that vinyl siding on that roof. But first I'm going to try and insulate it a little better from the rain, because, you know, water will travel, right? Don't step in here. You can see what that is. Okay. Big gaping hole now. Gaping. I'm going to have to cut this. No, I think. Or it's hard to see. It's hard to see yet. I have to put beams on first. If I put the beams on, I might not have to cut that. I am thinking to, after I'm done doing this stuff, right? I think I want to pour, because I did this floorboard, but there's breach in there, right? So I think I might pull him up after, and then I'm just going to throw in a bunch of rocks in between to see what's going on underneath this floorboard, right? Because rats will nest, eh? So probably end up pulling up this floorboard, cleaning it out, doing whatever, and then just filling up everything with a bunch of rocks, and then putting down basically the floorboard that I have here, or whatever. I mean, it is what it is, people. It's all recycled materials, right?